The FX30 is a great live streaming and video podcasting camera for a lot of the same reasons that it's a great general purpose video camera. It's super reliable. It has amazing autofocus. It has USB power delivery. If you opt for the XLR audio top handle with your FX30, then you can use whatever XLR microphones you want to. And that way you don't have to worry about a separate audio device that you have to set up in your streaming software, nor do you have to worry about syncing the video and the audio in your streaming software. It's not hard to do, but it's not exactly intuitive to figure out how to do it. So you'll probably have to spend some time figuring that out as well. And you can stream over HDMI or USB. So in this video, I wanted to show you the differences between streaming over HDMI and USB and the different options that you have to stream over USB. The resolution and frame rate options that you have to stream over HDMI are going to be dependent on whatever capture device you are using. I'm using the A10 Mini, so that means that the 4K signal coming out of the FX30 over HDMI is getting converted into 1080p. However, there are capture cards out there that can send out a 4K stream. Over USB, you have the following options in terms of frame rates and resolutions. 4K at 15 frames per second, which is weird, but I'll show you what it looks like. You have 1080p at 60 and 30, and you've got 720p at 30 frames per second. If you switch the camera over into PAL, then you have the options for 4K at 12.5, 1080p at 50 and 25, and 720p at 25. You're going to need a USB 3.0 cable and connection in order to get 1080p 30 and 60 as well as 4K 15. If you are transmitting with a USB 2.0 connection, then you're going to be limited to 720p. Newer Sony cameras like the A6700 also have 4K 30 over USB, but that camera has some of its own limitations like heating issues. I have made an entire video about the A6700's webcam functionality, so if you want to know more about how it performs, then check out the video linked above and in the description. So what I did was actually just record clips into OBS from the FX30, both over HDMI using my A10 Mini, and over USB directly into the computer. I set up my OBS studio just like I would for a live stream, same bit rate, same resolution, and frame rates that I would for a live stream. I am having some kind of technical difficulty over HDMI. I think it's the A10 Mini, but I'm not 100% sure what's going on. That brings me to another strength of the FX30, and that's redundancy or having a backup. And it's obviously not the only camera out there that you can record over HDMI or USB. It's just something that I wanted to call to your attention because live streaming can be stressful. There's a lot of different things that can go wrong. If you're having an issue over HDMI like I am, it's good to know that you can easily switch over to USB. Even if it's not your preferred method, it's still better to be able to get your stream up and running. Let's actually look at the FX30 as a live stream camera. Sorry about the glitches over HDMI, as I mentioned. I'll switch between the OBS screen recording and the internal recording that's happening simultaneously. With the HDMI live stream / recording, the camera is set to XAVC-S in 4K. I'm also going to compare the USB streaming quality against the internal recording and the HDMI recording. I'm not going to compare the USB 1080p and 720p against the internal recording, but rather just what it looks like against the HDMI recording, because I feel like that's more relevant. Aside from the frame rate and resolution limitations over USB, you also don't have any picture profile choices over USB. It's just PP off. However, if you want to stream with HDMI, you can select whatever picture profile that you want, including log shooting mode, Cine EI, etc. Not only that, you can transmit the LUTs that are in camera over HDMI directly into your live stream. And lastly, here's a quick look at HDMI with various picture profiles. I've got S-Cinetone here, S-Log3 with the Phantom LUTs Neutral and Phantom LUTs Utopia, I think, just as an example. If you opt for the XLR